When grown from the darkly fertile mind of director Tim Burton, the eerie woods of Sleepy Hollow become home to one of the most unusual unhuman characters ever created.
The three were slain in open ground, their heads found severed from their bodies.
Their heads were not found severed. Their heads were not found at all.
And action.
It may not have a face, but Burton insisted that his headless horseman be able to act. To create the film's sword-swinging henchman, the producers first experimented with ways of hiding an actor's head inside his costume. But Burton was not satisfied with these tests. His rogue rider had to be anatomically accurate and completely convincing. That would require a different approach. So Burton turned to the visual effects wizards at ILM.
If you go back to the previous Sleepy Hollow type stories where you could put a guy under some shoulder pads and make it look like he was a headless horseman, just wasn't going to work on this film, especially in this day and age with the sophistication of the audience.
But Burton did not want a computer-generated character. He wanted a live actor whose performance could be directed during filming.
Step to your right.
We told Tim to just shoot it like, you know, he already didn't have a head, and then we would worry about erasing the head when we got it back here.
Stand by and action away.
To accomplish this, Burton would have to shoot the horseman with a blue hood over his head. This would allow the ILM team to isolate the colored cranium and remove it from the rest of the scene.
He still moves normally, he's still proportioned naturally, so you get this tweak in your mind where you're like, that body is moving exactly the way a body should, but it doesn't have a head.
The horseman was not the only one in the movie without a head.
Of course, you know, you can't have a story about a headless horseman without lopping off a few heads.
Creature effects supervisor Kevin Yeager was charged with creating the 20 severed human heads that fell victim to the horseman's blade.
If an actor was to have his head cut off with a character, and we had to see that, we do some kind of a, frightening grimace or a grimace like this or whatever, for, so that when we cut to this fake head, it looked like it was in pain or in shocked expression, seeing the horseman, decapitating them.
Kevin crafted the severed heads out of translucent silicone, giving them an eerily believable appearance. Then, he and Burton collaborated to make each of the decapitations different and memorable. Kevin's favorite beheading was of the character played by actor Richard Griffiths.
What is that? My talisman, it protects me from the horseman.
Tim came up with this idea, which was to have the head slice and spin around 3 times. We ended up building a torso of Richard Griffiths, and we put a drill motor in the chest area.
Kevin and ILM joined forces to pull off a key sequence in which Lady Van Tassel, played by Miranda Richardson, decapitates an old witch, also played by Richardson. Burton filmed each of the characters separately, and Kevin provided the severed head. Then ILM blended the 3 elements together into a single gruesome image. The effects team's finest moment in Sleepy Hollow takes place during the film's harrowing finale, when the headless horseman reclaims his missing skull. ILM regenerated his face into the Hessian mercenary played by Christopher Walken.
He wanted it to be pretty much anatomically correct as far as having the veins and the muscles all kind of rise up out of the stump and settle onto the skull.
This scene gives audiences one of their only glimpses of Walken, but he was nevertheless happy to embody the limited role.
The advantage is no head, means no makeup, no lines.
By unleashing his bloodthirsty horseman on the big screen, Tim Burton has proven that even a headless, unhuman character, when coached by Hollywood's top effects artists, can deliver a powerful performance. When a movie calls for something from the future,